All right. Whew, sorry about that, guys. Mistake on my part. J Brother Love, you're there. Thank you for pointing that out to me, dude. So anyway, so I think where I was at was boom. Where I was at was I think it's irresponsible. And as a person who this is I'm wearing my swag from this is vintage. At Johnny Goods will recognize this obviously as well. Lots of people. Topher wore this at our launch at South by Southwest. We really were in the game, and the way this started for me was once upon a time I convinced a complete stranger to rent me a motorcycle so I could impress my at the time girlfriend. That was the impetus for me to get a thing that somebody else had that they weren't using, that I was able to pay a little bit of money for and create this amazing experience and connect to this guy who it turns out went to my rival high school, who had the same name as me. Nothing about that was explicitly about, trying to make lots and lots of money. That was about building experiences, which is where I think so much of the couch surfing and the sort of Airbnbs, that's really where the sort of center, the ethos of those things kind of started. Now, is there lots of money to be made? Sure. But I think what's really dangerous is if you sort of think about the epiphany really being that there are underutilized assets that should be better used in a world where there's just too much shit. That's cool, right? Like the world's too stuff focused. Absolutely. Let's make it easy to share, easy to be more efficient with this sort of this capital of which there's excess. I think the trick is, and here's where I'd agree with Bill Maher, people aren't necessarily assets, right? They shouldn't be looked at as assets. So of course, if something is new, if there's new technology, and I agree with Senor Cranky Pants on this, we've got to sort of watch and make sure that we're kind of vigilant about making sure that new technologies and innovations aren't being abused. That said, this intersection of geolocation and smart mobile communication and sort of always on awareness is enabling all this really cool stuff. So we have to actually protect ourselves from bad behavior. Oh, wow. Hi from Russia. What's up, dude? But that doesn't make the sort of central conceit of the sharing economy, or as we used to call it, the access economy, like being able to access things on an as-needed basis. That doesn't make that wrong. Truly, if you look at a guy like Craig Newmark, couch surfing, what this is originally about, I think we can all kind of agree it was not originally sort of put on this earth for anything other than really good, crunchy fun, really to connect people. And when we think about any case in which disintermediating the middleman, if we think of that as a bad thing, which is essentially what Bill Maher is saying, I think we've kind of lost the plot, right? Where actually it's empowering to be able to connect people to each other directly, in my opinion. So ranting about removing middlemen, to me, makes Bill Maher sound like a dude totally disconnected from the times. Of course, nobody wants to be broke, but for some people, funding the pursuit of real passion, pursuing their art, their music, even if they have to make ends meet in the gig economy, that's actually something that works better for them than a 9-to-5 job. Sure, Airbnb, just for those who are asking, is a way to easily rent out your apartment or your house or whatever to other people who might be traveling in your town. Snapgoods was the easiest way to rent stuff like cameras, like outdoor gear, things that were kind of expensive and portable, safely from other people. So again, this idea of kind of sharing assets more effectively. Thank you for asking the question. So just to kind of back up, I just don't think that we can't condemn something that actually has such potential good just because a few bad actors use it poorly, right? We can't absolve ourselves, obviously, as a society when bad, shitty behavior is being done, when people are being abused. We've got to hold bad actors accountable. Uber should absolutely be treating, in my opinion, its drivers like employees. It controls the supply, the demand. It even is in partnership doing leasing, so it's controlling the actual infrastructure. And these folks are absolutely responsible and beholden to Uber. That sounds an awful lot like employment, in my opinion. But to say in the same breath that that is bad and as bad as something like Etsy because there aren't stores, Bill, that's dumb. And so in my opinion, using this catch-all of sharing economy and dumping on it, to a group of folks who might not even sort of get this nuanced concept, it's really kind of reckless. We haven't figured this out totally yet, and that's okay. But it'd be a lot like dumping on and banning phones because some people make prank calls or because some idiots spend too much money on sex lines. That's just fucking stupid. So Bill Maher, I expect you to do better. I think you have a responsibility to your viewership as a smart guy, as a thought leader, to be really thoughtful about these nuanced, sort of technically savvy, kind of new innovation type things that are scary and that your fans may not fully understand. So that's my not so quick response. I'm sorry for the snafu. Thank you very much, J Brother Love, for tweeting at me and not letting me be a knucklehead and keep the thing up with no ability to comment. I'd be really curious, a real issue worth discussing. And I don't think we can afford to be distracted by the red herrings of it's technology's fault or it's this guy's fault. To me, it's the same thing as, there's this great visual of you have the cookie and then, sort of Wall Street takes most of the cookie and then there are crumbs and one guy with crumbs points to another guy with crumbs and says, this guy's trying to keep my cookie. So I think we can't afford to be distracted. So that is it. Thanks for checking us out.